Primeape is the better fighter out there only because of Night Slash, and that gives it coverage against the ghost types. So today, trainers, we're gonna have Primeape upon the lead, while at the back Cofagrigus with Shadow. Candomac will do a lot of solid work. Able to get the boost I think here, but still we're gonna switch out to our Cofagrigus because we want to catch something like a Body Slam. This is not gonna happen. They are gonna throw the Aqua Tail, and because they are not gonna switch out, I'm just gonna stay in and see what they have at the back. They are gonna have the Vigoroth, so Dark Pulse here is gonna do a lot of work, and we're just gonna keep pressuring with another one. We know that they still need to bring us to no HP with a Bulldoze, so this is gonna take a lot of time to build up, and I'm just gonna let that go through. It ends up being a Body Slam, which means that we made the perfect call, and right now they might just be almost energy dry. With that in mind, we're just gonna go in now with our Primeape, completely farm down Vigoroth. At the back, they have their Registeel as their third Pokemon, and Sadomac will emerge. At this point, they are switch locked in here, so we can absolutely let that go through and still survive the Hyper Beam, Zap Cannon, whatever they throw at this point. Let's go now with our Dark Pulse for massive damage on the Registeel, but still not lethal. They can survive, and the poison jumps are double resisted, but of course we have a shield, and we know that they threw all of their energy from that Dragonair. We can farm down the Dragonair and do absolutely the same on the Registeel, so Primeape will be turned from a leader into an amazing closer. Into the next one now with a very bad lead against Mac, who have nothing to throw on this Pokemon, and as you're seeing, we do not even run Ice Punch, we run the Close Combat for a nuke possibility, but I don't think we're gonna use it anytime soon. So let's see what we have here, because my safe switch is as always Shadow Mac, and we're gonna bring it into the fight as soon as possible as I want to take them out. Of course they're gonna try to snipe me down, and this is gonna work towards their advantage with the Dragonair, and now I can bring back into play my Primeape. I know that I might be classy, but still we can tank one move. At this point the Night Slash can be deadly for the Dragonair. They are gonna take it already on the red, and I'm just gonna let it go through while I can easily farm down at this point. Cofagrigus is a scary Pokemon with energy ahead, however they still have a lot of Pokemon at the back. One of these Pokemons are gonna be Haxorus, and we're just gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball, but they are gonna block. Of course we need to block in return, and they have the Breaking Swipe unfortunately. Hopefully though, before they reach to the next charge attack, we're just gonna go ahead and overfarm just a little bit. Now they bring the Candomac, and we can get to a triple Shadow Ball here to finish them off. Of course they can survive, but the Primeape will just finish off the work here, sniping down that poor Mac. So into the next one now with the Aromatisse up on the lead. Another bad lead for Primeape. Primeape cannot catch a break at all. Cofagrigus coming in pretty clutch, and this is one of the few scenarios that you want to bring Cofagrigus when playing a team like this into play, and not the Shadow Mac, because with Cofagrigus you are able to see what they have at the back, and even if they do not switch out, you're gonna be on a very good spot by finishing them off eventually. They have another Fairy type at the back, so that makes me think that whatever they have might be another Fairy as well. So triple Fairy, why not? But instead they have Machamp, and as it seems we have to rely on Shadow Mac to finish them off. I have a feeling that I cannot go for the complete farm down, so I have to try and block here, because we're looking at a Shadow Mac, and this means that even those counters which are resisted are still gonna hurt a lot. Let's get now to the final Thunder Punch right on the CMP, perfect scenario for us, and we can simply go ahead, finish them off with style, and of course now Clefable stands no chance, and we can easily farm down. Crazy battle once again right on the edge. So Cofagrigus now into the next one, and this is in general not a bad lead, but of course it is gonna be a bad lead, but not that bad. Let's call it like this, not that bad of a lead. It is absolutely playable, especially with those Night Slashes being super effective, and of course they can charge up much faster than a Rock Slide, which is why I prefer Primeape for the single type cap over the Machamp. And now we can start taking some shields out of them, because we're getting too low. I think that we cannot cannot afford shielding here. We can still keep that shield for the end game, either for the Monk or the Cofagrigus. We can absolutely farm the remaining energy, and they end up switching out to their Vigoroth. So Vigoroth, as always, a very nice safe switch for any special cap that is allowed to play in, so that's why we're seeing it once again over here. Its main counter is gonna be the other counter users and the fighters, but even against those Pokemon, it can easily take a shield out of them because most fighters are gonna be extremely glassy, so a Body Slam can absolutely do the work. At this point, we have now this Shadow Dragonair coming in, and the Thunder Punch will definitely take a shield out of them. They're so glassy that we can pressure for another one. They know that, and they're gonna throw the remaining energy. So it's all up to the Cofagrigus. They are gonna commit to the farm down, and we can do the same, but right now we have a Dark Pulse ready to go for the Dragonair, keeping the shield alive, and that is a great game. Into the next one now with the Dragonair, non-Shadow up on the lead, and Primeape can still do a lot of solid work even without its Ice Punch. So we can reach to the Night Slash, they are gonna block. Awesome news for me. Once again I try to catch here a Body Slam. This is not gonna work towards my advantage because they can reach to the Aqua Tail. However, this is still absolutely playable, no shout at all. We can still tank 2 moves and reach to our Dark Pulse pretty easily here while keeping that 2-shield scenario advantage over our side. They have now the Hypno at the back, which just barely farms us down before we reach to the Dark Pulse. Crazy news for them, and we can reach now to that Night Slash. So yeah, Hypno is a massive core breaker for this team, especially upon the lead, and at the back if they happen to have it aligned with our Primeape and our Mach, as it seems this is the case for this battle. But of course we are just gonna apply so much pressure back at them to the Hypno and the Machamp with a double Thunder Punch. Let's get that sweet victory, and that was a big brain play by my opponent because they realized that throwing a charge attack will not help them at all, so they want to focus to the complete farm down with those fast attacks. Even resisted, those counters are still gonna do a nice chunk to my Shadow Mach, and yeah, props to them, well played my opponent. Into the next one now, and we're facing on the Switch, I think this is the Mew, so yeah, another move is coming up. We're just gonna let it go through because there is nothing to be afraid of. I prefer to use my shield on the Primeape, but as it seems we can easily reach to that charge attack first, so yeah, let's keep the shield, let's keep the healthy Pokemon, and of course finish them off. At the back they have a Shadow Mewtwo. Things aren't looking that great, because if this Pokemon can farm us down, no they cannot. They have to throw their energy because every 5 Night Slashes we're just gonna outspeed, so yeah, they know that, but I'm not gonna risk it because I know their elite Pokemon, and of course Shadow Mach now with 2 shields can absolutely wall them down. So all we have to do is to reach the Dark Pulse. So as you saw here, I pressed the move, then went for that weird overfarm. I did it automatically, I didn't press it or anything for the fast attack, and they passed through a whole double kick. Well, that happens. Anyways, Thunder Punch now to finish them off, and of course Mewtwo now is energy dry, and we can take this victory as always. So Vigoroth now up on the lead for our Primeape. Okay, I like this lead a lot, and on the Switch we're met up with a Mew. No reason to switch out. We can still stay with our Primeape and still have 2 Pokemon at the back, which can absolutely handle that Vigoroth threat. And of course we have to block whatever they throw, but hopefully we have the slight energy advantage here because they are coming after a switch, and we get the massive boost on our Primeape. So Dragon Claw here for the second time will be blocked, and I'm pretty comfortable because I can definitely win that CMP race, and Night Slash will take them out. Another boost for the Primeape, but unfortunately we have to switch out to our Cofagrigus. I know this can always be a Shadow Ball, oh my goodness, so much damage, but we can survive and still bring them to a nice chunk out of that HP with the Dark Pulse, but not a second, since those counters are gonna be kinda helpful at the current amount of HP that we are with our Cofagrigus. Primeape will go in, so we have to rely on our Mach to finish them off. Can we do it, trainers? Because this is getting super scary. Yes, we can. First with the Thunder Punch, so it all depends if they can finish us off with the Hypno. Can we finish them off? We need to reach to the Dark Pulse. Of course we can. Hypno goes down, and that is gonna be magnificent ending to this video. Thank you for watching, trainers, and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and of course subscribe subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. With that said, I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I hope to see you all into the next one.